Babe of the day. Babe of the day. Yvonne Carlo. If you saw Yvonne Carlo out of the corner of your eye, you would be instantly drawn to her. There is just something about her that is so incredibly alluring. To say that she has bedroom eyes is putting it mild. Yvonne had a very good film career. It's surprising then that her best known role was Lily Munster on TV's The Munsters. Lily was still sexy in her own way, but no doubt due to Yvonne's portrayal of her. Lily had green skin, dressed and acted spooky, but still had sex appeal. I don't know how this could have been done, but she did it. Her real name was Margaret Yvonne Middleton. She took the DiCarlo part of her name from her mother's maiden name. Where did Yvonne get her looks from? Well, her mother was born in France to a Sicilian father and a Scottish mother. So the Italian part of it, that kind of figures into her exotic look. Her father was a salesman from New Zealand, and he had just a whole lot of thick, straight black hair. Yvonne herself originally wanted to be a writer, and she had wanted to be a writer since she was a little girl. However, her mother really is the one who wanted her to get into show business. So she made sure that Yvonne got the proper singing and dancing lessons. So Yvonne DiCarlo started her career as a dancer, and she is really quite excellent at it. She never totally got away from dancing in films, but when she got more screen time, she obviously became known much more as an actress. The acting talent, I think, was just natural. I don't think she had to try for that or train for that like she did with the singing and dancing. Due to her look, she got every sort of exotic role imaginable. She played every sort of Arabian princess or anybody who was, kind of foreign and sexy and but that's what worked for her. She started working in movies in 1941, and it wasn't like a meteoric rise to success. It didn't happen overnight. It really should have. There's not too many cases where that really should happen, but it should have for Yvonne, and it really didn't. And what happened was in 1942, she signed a 3-year contract with Paramount Pictures, and they stuck her in just playing like uncredited bit roles, but in important films, But that's what she was doing for 3 years with Paramount. And before, you really start thinking, says, oh, well, maybe she just wasn't up to snuff or whatever. Says, well, Paramount, they kind of had a reputation for doing that with a lot of really good-looking, younger actresses and everything else. They had a knack for underutilizing strong talent. So. But in 1945, she got with Universal Pictures, and they made her the lead in a movie called Salome, where she danced, which was her big breakout performance. That's the one that really got her into the spotlight like nothing else. The male lead in it was Rod Cameron, who had been a big Western star at the time. It's called a Western film. It's really not a Western in the way that you think it is, like with cowboys or anything else. What it's about is she's a dancer in the 18th century. She's in Europe and in the United States. And that's basically just about that. It's like a little love story going on there, but she's just an exotic dancer. The story was loosely based on the life of a real dancer named Lola Montez. The movie was a big hit, and it got her a 5-year contract with Universal Pictures where they put her in very big budget, lavish Technicolor productions. She was no longer doing scrub movies, but what she was doing was mostly exotic roles, playing, characters that were really not American, but just playing off of her, very beautiful exotic look. And even though that got her a lot of acclaim, and that's what a lot of people knew her for, she was actually getting tired of being typecast as exotic women, and she wanted to do something else. So she started doing serious dramatic performances. And she did a couple of film noir movies, like the really serious detective type movies. And one was called Brute Force in 1947, and another one was called Crisscross in 1949. And one thing you'll discover by seeing those movies is that Yvonne Carlo really did have range as an actress. I mean, she proved it with that. She was no one-trick pony. And I think that doing those film noir movies, even those aren't really considered, big budget or late A-list pictures, I think that's what helped further her career and helped get her, even bigger and better parts in other movies. When Yvonne Carlo became her most distinguished, it would have been when she was cast as the wife of Moses in the biblical epic of the Ten Commandments in 1956. And she actually won a Laurel Award for a top liner supporting actress in that part. A couple years later, she played Mary Magdalene in another religious film called The Sword and the Cross. A lot of people don't realize that Yvonne Carlo actually had a singing career, and she was quite good singing in the films and on records too. I mean, she had a very good singing voice, along with everything else. But her singing career actually started in the 50s as far as on records. And two singles that she did was Say Goodbye and I Love a Man. But Yvonne Carlo did concerts, and she was pretty successful as it. But, a lot of people just don't remember that because they remember, Lily Munster, or they remember, the earlier Hollywood films. But she was the first Hollywood actress to visit Israel, and this happened in August 1951, and she gave concerts there, and she actually got the royal treatment from the Israeli government and everything, and the public too. I mean, she was really well received. Her film career slowed down in the later 1950s and early 1960s, mainly because she got married and she was starting a family. She had children, and the marriage was ultimately not successful, but she did put her career on hold. But she found herself on television in 1964 with the Munsters TV series as Lily Munster. And this was definitely a different kind of role that she really got into. She was not one of those Hollywood actresses that always had to be pretty all the time, that always had to look good. She liked that enough, and she thought it was fine, and she thought it was okay to be revered as a sex symbol and all that, but she liked to work, and she liked action. She wanted to be in roles where she could do a little bit more and just be more interesting. And Lily Munster was definitely that kind of role, which I think is why she was such a good performer on there. It was uncertain if, being a film actress, if she could work as hard as, TV actors do. But after a while, it didn't take long. She got the respect of everybody on the Munster set, and they had a whole lot of fun making that show. Thank you very much for watching this tribute to Yvonne Carlo. If you're not familiar with anything that she's done besides Lily Munster, go back and check out her early work by all means. She's just absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, and have a great day.